Hi everybody and welcome back to Main Mission Hope. I'm so glad you're here with me today as we dive into a topic that's tough but incredibly important. How the Catholic Church has dealt with abuse scandals over the last 100 years. If you're new to Christianity or coming back after a long time away, you might have questions about this, maybe even doubts, and that's okay. I'm here to walk through this with you, not to shy away from the hard stuff, but to show how even in the darkest moments there's a path to healing, redemption and hope, because that's what Christianity is all about, finding light even when things look bleak. Today I'll share some of the worst scandals the church has faced, how it's punished those responsible, supported victims, and most excitingly, how it's changed to protect people today. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a story of transformation, and I can't wait to explore it with you. Let's start with the hard reality. Over the last 100 years, the Catholic Church has been rocked by abuse scandals. Cases where priests and others in the church hurt the very people they were meant to care for, often children. These stories broke hearts and tested faith, and they happened all over the world. One of the most shocking examples is the Boston Archdiocese scandal. Back in 2002, the Boston Globe uncovered that over 200 priests in Boston had been accused of abusing minors. What made it worse? Church leaders often moved these priests to new parishes instead of stopping them. It was a betrayal of trust that hit hard, and it woke up the world to the scale of the problem. Then there's Ireland, where the Magdalene Laundries left a painful mark. For decades, these church-run homes were supposed to help women and girls in need, but instead, many faced abuse and exploitation. A 2013 government report confirmed the suffering, and it's something the church has had to reckon with. In Australia, a 2017 Royal Commission found that 7% of Catholic priests between 1950 and 2010 had been accused of child abuse. That's over 4,400 allegations. These numbers are staggering, and they show just how widespread this crisis was. It's a heavy truth, but as Christians, I believe we're called to face it, not hide from it. So, what did the church do about the people who caused this harm? For a long time, not enough. Too often, priests were quietly moved or sent for treatment instead of facing real consequences, but that started to change, especially after the Boston scandal. In 2002, the US bishops created the Charter for the Protection of Children and Young People. It said any priest credibly accused of abuse would be removed from ministry permanently, and dioceses had to report allegations to the police. Since then, thousands of priests have been defrocked. The John Jay report says over 4,000 priests in the US were removed between 1950 and 2016. It wasn't fast enough for everyone, and some dioceses dragged their feet, but it was a start. Even high-ranking leaders have faced justice. In 2019, Cardinal George Pell in Australia was convicted for covering up abuse, though his conviction was later overturned on appeal. Cases like this show the church is being pushed to hold everyone accountable, no matter their rank. Punishment is only part of the story. The church has also worked to help victims heal. Since the 1980s, it's paid over $3 billion in settlements in the US alone. One big example, in 2007, the Archdiocese of Los Angeles paid $660 million to over 500 survivors. That money can't ease the pain, but it's a way to acknowledge the wrong and offer some support. Beyond dollars, many dioceses now have victim assistance programs, places where survivors can get counselling, therapy, or just someone to listen. I see this as the church trying to live out Jesus' call to care for the hurting, even if it's taken time to get there. Here's where we can get a little bit excited too, how the church has changed. Today it's got some of the toughest safety rules out there of any organisation. There's a zero tolerance policy. If you're credibly accused of abuse, you're out. No second chances. Allegations go straight to the authorities, not just handled behind closed doors. every diocese has a safe environment coordinator now. They train priests, staff and volunteers to spot and stop abuse before it happens. Plus, everyone working with kids or vulnerable people gets a background check, thorough ones. It's about building a culture where safety comes first. There are also review boards in every diocese, with experts like cops and child protection pros helping bishops decide what to do with allegations. No more secret decisions. Transparency matters. And for the victims, there are victim assistant coordinators to guide them through reporting and healing. It's a total shift from the past, and I think it shows the Church taking its mission seriously to protect, not harm. The work's not done, and that's okay. Growth takes time. Pope Francis made this a priority. In 2019, he held a big meeting with bishops worldwide to tackle abuse, and he set up new rules so every diocese has a way to report it. He even started the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors to keep the Vatican focused on safety. Some survivors say the Church still needs to do more, like bigger compensation or tougher accountability for bishops who cover things up. I hear that, and I think the Church does too. But here's the good news. Studies show abuse rates have dropped a lot since the early 2000s because of these changes. Parishes and schools are safer now, and that's a win worth celebrating. As I close, I want you to hold on to this. The abuse scandals were a dark time, but they've sparked real change. The Church isn't perfect. It's made up of people like you and me after all, but it's learning, growing and striving to be better. That's the Christian way. Owning our mistakes, making things right and trusting in God's promise of renewal. If you've been hurt by abuse or know someone who has, there's help out there. Many dioceses have support lines, and groups like RAINN, the Rape, Abuse and Incest National Network, offer resources too. You're not alone. Thanks for joining me today. This stuff isn't easy, but it's part of our faith story. Christianity gives us hope when there's none, and I believe the Church's journey proves that. Let's keep praying for survivors, for the Church, and for a world where everyone's safe and loved. See you next time on Main Mission Hope.